Good morning, elephants. Good afternoon, dinos. Happy Wacky Wednesday. So we're talking about an insect. It's one of my favorite insects. Do you remember what it is? Look, I'll give you a hint. I have earrings. What's dangling from that flower? A bee, right. We're talking about bees. Bees are insects. And we learned a lot of facts about bees on Monday that we added to our chart. I hope you're adding to that chart. I hope you're watching the videos. Now I have some information about how a bee grows, okay? A bee grows a lot like a butterfly grows. We call that metamorphosis. We call the transformation that a baby bee makes into an adult bee transformation, metamorphosis, okay? You know that a baby frog is a tadpole. It looks nothing like a grown frog. We know that a baby butterfly is a caterpillar, and that looks nothing like a butterfly until it transforms into one. It's the same thing with a bee. Let's learn a little bit about how bees are born, okay? That's the hive. So here's the hive. Hives are used to make honey, but they're also used to make baby bees, okay? So let's read a little bit about this. Most eggs the queen lays are no bigger than a period in a sentence, and that's tiny. After 3 days, a larva hatches from each little egg. For the next 3 days, worker bees called nurse bees feed the larva something called bee milk. Then they feed it bee bread. A queen larva is fed royal jelly throughout its growth. Oh, wow. So I guess the queen babies get a special treatment, right? Now, the nurse bee is the bee that takes care of the egg, and it's fed something interesting, bee milk and bee bread, okay? That means that the bee milk is a milky syrup, and it has lots of nutrients and it's very healthy. And then bee bread is pollen and honey mixed together, and it has a lot of protein, and it helps the little baby bee grow, okay? So now there's the next step, okay? So we have, look at this. We have the larva. Let's see, I have a model of what larva looks like. Does this look anything like a baby bee? No. What does it look like? Kind of like a caterpillar or a wormy thing, right? That's the larva. But each larva grows quickly. Then it spins a silky cocoon. Inside the cocoon, a pupa develops. A nurse bee seals the cell with wax. So the little larva spun a web into a cocoon, and inside it's a pupa. Okay, we don't call it a chrysalis with a bee, we call it a pupa. And inside, the little baby bee is growing. So here we go, look. So now I notice that inside the pupa, inside the hive that's sealed up by the nurse bee, it's kind of starting to look like a bee. I see the compound eyes growing, and I see some legs, and I see the body parts. Look at that. That's interesting. So little by little, the pupa changes. It begins to look more like an adult insect. This process is called metamorphosis. Queens develop in about 16 days from the time the eggs are laid. The metamorphosis of drones and workers takes about 21 to 24 days. Finally, after the transformation is complete, an adult bee chews its way out of the brood cell, and it's an adult bee. Right? Didn't we talk about the different kinds of bees? There's the worker bee, there's the drone bee, and there's the queen bee. Remember, the worker bees are the females, they do all the work. Right? And then the queen bee, she's the queen. She gets fed the royal jelly, right? So here it is, climbs out, it's an adult. Well, it's not an adult, it's a full grown. I guess that bees grow up a lot faster than we do, than humans do, right? Then we go, it starts all over again. Pretty interesting, huh? So we have here the different, I have the model here. Here's the queen bee lays the egg, and then it's a larva, and then the larva spins a cocoon, and it's a pupa, and out of that pops the bee again. So it goes like this, right? Here's the egg. Here's the larva. that looks like a worm. Here's the pupa in the cocoon, and then it's an adult again. So you have this sheet at home. See how it goes in a circle? That's a cycle. It's a life cycle, right? So what do we start with? What is the adult bee do? The queen bee lays an egg, right? So this is the egg. That goes first. What do you think comes next? First the egg, then the egg. What pops out of the egg? A larva. Looks like a worm. The larva. That's the baby bee. Looks nothing like an adult bee, right? That's the second part. So it's the egg, the larva, and then what does the larva do? That little worm, it spins a cocoon, which we call a pupa. Here's the pupa. It goes here, and then what pops out of that pupa is a bee. And then it starts all over again. That's why it's a cycle. It's a life cycle. Okay, so what I want you to do is keep watching all your videos and put some more information on your chart, and you can take this and you can make it colorful. You can color in the bottom, right? And then you can cut it and paste it onto here, and then hang up your life cycle so you can remember how a bee grows up. Have fun doing that, okay? See you later.